Hi, I'm Alan Clark.
And I'm Bailey Stahl.
And we're the directors of Cash on Delivery. I really enjoyed the script when I first read it, being a part of the play reading committee initially, and reading the script was a script that actually made me laugh out loud, and that drew me to the show itself. And then having the opportunity to work with somebody I cherish as much as my friend Bailey, then that was even an added bonus. So
I guess what kind of sparked my interest to do this show, I really wanted to get into directing for an older group. I'd been directing the kids' shows for quite some time. I saw that we were doing a British farce, and I love farces, so I was like, well, that'll be a great one to jump right into. And when Alan messaged me asking if we wanted to co-it together, I was like all for it, because he is one of my besties.
So Cash on Delivery takes us to the home of Eric and Linda Swan. And Eric has been keeping some things from his wife and has sort of inadvertently been defrauding the Department of Social Security. And he's come up with a few fake tenants that perhaps they have had around the home, and has been collecting quite a bit of money as a result. Well, a DSS inspector shows up at the house, and kind of all chaos ensues after that.
It's a very big cat and mouse game of everybody trying to figure out who's going to be who and trying to cover up what they've been doing.
There's lots of ins and outs and fast-paced entrances and exits and all that classic farce stuff, which is good.
The set, we took inspiration from the script and how the script was laid out. And when we came to our first meeting together, our set designer had come up with an amazing sketch and just laid it in front of us, and we just went, yep, that's it right there. And we fell in love with it. There was no need for further, like, oh, we should tweak this. It was like, yes, that right there. That's perfect.
Sonia Madsen, who is actually in the show, she's kind of doing like triple duty because she's in the show, she helped with props, and then she painted that amazing mural in the background to give us kind of a great cityscape of kind of London and that type of thing, so we have something in the background and not just a boring black flat or black curtain. And she spent quite a lot of hours on it. She had free reign to kind of do what she wanted, and she really just knocked it out of the park. And I wish the audience could see it a little bit more up close, honestly, but it's really quite something.
She's very talented painter. As far as our cast goes, we have quite a few faces that you'll probably see often, and we've got a couple of new people. Diane Komsky, I don't remember how long it's been since she's done a show, but this is her first production here at the barn. She's been really fun to work with. We got a couple of people that we had to pull in, and they haven't been on stage for a while. Madison, this is her first straight play, but she's done an excellent job. And our Mateo, he hasn't done anything here for 5 years, but we were able to rope him back in for another one.
Yes, and he's doing an amazing job too. Mm-hmm. He took on a big lead character and he really made it his own, so it's really great. Mm-hmm. The good thing is Bailey and I have done a number of productions together, so we are pretty comfortable with each other, and we can relate with each other, we can talk to each other if we do have any problems, things like that. So as far as co-directing, I don't think there have really been any issues. We've been working well together. It's funny because when we were doing some of the blocking, Bailey would be like, oh, I have this idea. I was like, funny you should say that, because that's exactly what I have written in my notes here. So that was pretty fun to have that. And we didn't really have any issues with any of our set design, lighting design, things like that. It just really worked pretty well together. And anytime I direct, I like to be as collaborative as possible. So if any of the cast have any ideas or suggestions, and Bailey was like this as well, we were like, well, let's try it. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, then we'll go back to what we were doing before, but otherwise, let's just try it and see if it works.
Yeah, I love to give people free range to be creative, because that's what this is all about, is just being creative and expressing yourself. A lot of, I'd say, general reaction is very positive. Everybody has been loving the show. A lot of people are telling me that they're leaving here with their sides hurting because they've laughed so hard. So that's always been really fun.
There was a moment the other night that a lady came through the line, and she recently lost her husband in June, I believe she said. And this was her first kind of big outing since then. And she was really encouraged to do so. And she said this was the first time she had laughed since then. So that was like really pulled at the heartstrings right there. That's what it's all about.
For me personally, I think the theater is important just to have a sense of self and a community to wrap yourself around. I joined the barn about 8 years ago, and I've created a family here, truly. My closest friends I've met here, and I met my future husband here. We're getting married in September. So just this place, for the people on stage, for the people out in the audience, it's about community, and it's about finding who you are here and feeling like you belong.
So what having that safe place where you can be your authentic self and be true to yourself and really just express who you are as a person and know that there's not going to be any judgment. Everybody is here for the same reason, and we're all here to create and do something amazing together. And when you are able to bring the audience in and hear that laughter or share whatever emotion you're trying to convey on stage, and you can also hear it or feel it within the audience as well, like that's such a powerful thing. And when you get the compliments afterwards from the audience, and especially when they say, we could tell you guys were having so much fun on stage, then that means that we're translating it to the audience as well, and that makes a big difference. And like Bailey said, you make a family here with everybody that you spend 6-8 weeks together every night. It's a lot of work, but it's so worth it in the end. And you do make those lifelong friendships, and I wouldn't replace it for the world. So Cash on Delivery is a hilarious show, a great farce. Bring your friends, come on out and see it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna have a good time, I promise. If not, don't complain to me.
Yeah, don't complain to Ellen.
Complain to her. It's her fault.
It's my fault.
If you don't like it, it's Bailey's fault.
Thank you.
Thank you. Or if you don't want to come see the show, come volunteer. We always need volunteers at the barn too. Come volunteer and be an usher, work in the concession stand, work out front, and
sell tickets.
We need those people as well. They're just as important as us on stage. We need those front of the house people as well. So we're always looking for volunteers, so never hesitate. So I'm Alan Clark.
I'm Bailey Stahl.
And come see Cash on Delivery.
And it's all Bailey's fault.
It's all Bailey's fault.
So rude.
I hope you do use that part.